Previously on Dragon Ball Super 2, the new Tournament of Power. Since the start of the new Tournament of Power, multiple extremely intense battles have started on Planet Arena. The objective of the first stage of the competition is to get 2 Dragon Balls and head to the center of this huge planet full of enemies. Many participants have already lost the orbs they were given at the beginning of the competition, while others already have the orbs needed to move on to the next stage. But despite that, no one is classified yet, since for this it is necessary to reach the center of Planet Arena. And this journey can include many dangers. Who will be the one who will be able to advance to the next stage and face battles that will even include the Gods of Destruction? Episode 3. The two monsters clash fists. BROLY vs Jiren. Who is the strongest? After defeating the trio of danger, Goku flies towards where he and Hit fought Aniraza, with the intention of finding the assassin. But suddenly a bolt of lightning is fired at the Saiyan, who dodges. Soon after the attacker appears, it's Ganos, who is in a very muscular shape. When he sees the Birdman, Goku immediately recognizes him. Goku says, "Hey, it's you! You're the guy who faced Master Roshi in the first tournament." Ganos is furious and says, "I haven't seen that old man here, but I know you're his disciple, so I'll get revenge on him through you." Goku takes a good look at Ganos and realizes that he is much more powerful than when he faced Master Roshi. The Saiyan smiles and says, "You've got much stronger. You must have trained a lot since the last tournament." Ganos replied, "Oh yes, I trained a lot so that one day I could teach that old man a lesson. But that's not all. All these intense battles of such powerful people that are happening all over this planet feed my spirit. My power has increased over 300 times since I got here, and it keeps increasing by the minute." Goku is very excited to hear that, and then he says, "Perfect! In that case, let's fight and make you even stronger." Goku, still in base form, attacks Ganos. They exchange blows intensely, and Goku realizes that Ganos is just as powerful as he is in the base form. Goku praises his opponent. "Very good! You really are much stronger than when you faced Master Roshi. But now let's go to the next level." Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan, and then he starts to have a lot of advantage over Ganos, who is impressed by the protagonist's power. Ganos is hit by many of Goku's blows, but none of the blows knocks him out, which prolongs the fight. Before long, Ganos' power starts to increase, and he is no longer hit by so many blows from Goku. Afterwards, he begins to match the power with the protagonist, and sometime later, he starts to have the upper hand. Ganos says to Goku, "You idiot, you should have beaten me while you had the upper hand. Now I got even stronger." But Goku smiles and explains, "I know that. My intention is that you really get more and more powerful for our fight to become more fun." This surprises Ganos. Did Goku let him evolve on purpose? Seeing that the Super Saiyan would no longer be enough to defeat his opponent, Goku says, "Okay, now let's go to the next level." Goku goes Super Saiyan 2, surprising Ganos with his power boost. Hit is in the world of illusions created by Derkori's talismans. He had been trapped in this world created by the warrior from Universe 4 since Goku went after Lavender, Basil, and Bergamo, which has been a few minutes. Hit is completely frozen in his fighting stance, just waiting for something. Derkori's voice, which echoes through that illusionary world, asks, "Won't you move? You'll be an easy target." Hit, with a calm expression, replies, "I don't intend to move for now. Why don't you attack first?" According to Hit's thoughts, it was useless to try to look for Derkori, as it was a world of illusions created by her. Reckless moves there could lead to a bad circumstance in the real world. The best he could do is wait for her to attack before finding a gap and counterattacking. Derkori, wondering what Hit is thinking, says, "You could stand still, and waiting for me to attack to counterattack is the best thing to do, right?" Well, you couldn't be more wrong. The longer you stay in this world, the more your mind will dwell into this illusion, and the more your senses will believe that this is part of reality. It's like sleep stages. The more you sleep, the deeper your sleep will be. Here it is, the same thing, only the difference is that it is not a cycle like in sleep. Here you will always fall deeper into an endless abyss. Soon you will lose all sense of reality. After hearing everything the woman said, Hit argues, "You may be right, but I'm not the type of person who has a weak mental condition. This means that for me to get to the stage you mentioned, it won't be that fast. Son Goku won't be long in coming back, as those 3 men won't be enough to defeat him. When he arrives, he's sure to break your illusions, and then you'll have 2 powerful opponents that you're certainly not going to win. Time is an issue for me, but it is also an issue for you. Let's bet who will fall first." Hearing this, Derkori disagrees. "That's not true. It's 3 against 1. They're sure to beat Son Goku. But Hit argues. Nonsense. You may have heard that Son Goku in the first Tournament of Power equaled the power with Jiren, the man capable of defeating even a god of destruction. Do you really think those 3 idiots are going to beat them? It's only a matter of time before he gets back here. Derkori is convinced by this argument, and so she thinks. Damn, he's right. I have to finish him off and steal his Dragon Ball before that guy comes back. It seems that waiting is no longer an option. Hit is suddenly surrounded by shadow bodies, with Derkori's appearance. Seeing that, Hit says, "Are you really going to try to defeat me with such a simple trick?" Hit attacks one of the shadows, but he surprisingly misses the attack, much to his surprise. After that, the assassin is hit by several blows coming from all directions. After that, he wonders what the hell happened. Derkori laughs and replies, "I told you, didn't I? The longer you spend in this world of illusions, the more compromised your mind and senses will become. At this point, your sense of direction are already completely distorted. Right, left, up and down, it's all twisted for you. You haven't noticed, but you completely lost your sense of direction. How do you intend to attack me or defend yourself in this way?" After explaining this, Derkori attacks Hit again with her shadows. While getting hit by so many attacks, Hit thinks, with my tact compromised by her illusion, every attack feels real. It's impossible to know what's real and what's not, and with my senses compromised, it's nearly impossible to accurately attack or defend myself. What can I do in this situation? Derkori, while laughing and attacking the assassin, says that it is impossible for him to attack or defend himself, so this fight is already lost. But Hit has an idea. So suddenly, Hit's purple energy goes through her abdomen. Derkori falls to his knees. The shadow disappears and then the world of illusions crumble. So the warrior of Universe 6 returns to the real world. Derkori doesn't understand. What happened? How did Hit know exactly where to strike? How did he find me? The assassin explains that he actually didn't know where she was, as he couldn't attack accurately because he no longer had a sense of direction and didn't know which Derkori was real. He simply froze time in a few fractions of a second and carried out many attacks in all possible directions. So one of those attacks hit her. He couldn't hit her accurately as the target was her chest and not her abdomen. But since she's not that strong, she ended up being incapacitated anyway. Derkori just can't believe what happened. He froze time in fractions of a second and performed so many attacks? This is impossible. Hit says it obviously takes incredible speed to pull off such a feat, but it's something someone like him can do. Derkori is very surprised by this. She never thought he could escape her ability in such a way. He is indeed an extremely intelligent and skilled man. Hit approaches the woman while ordering her to hand over the Dragon Ball, but he suddenly senses something and blocks many unseen attacks. Derkori smiles and greets her companions. Derkori says, "Damon, Gamisaras, and Shansa, you took your time. Those are the invisible or tiny warriors from Universe 4 who cannot be seen." Hit impatiently says, "Damn it, more scum keep getting in my way. This is getting annoying." After fighting Frieza and Cooler, Cabba was seriously injured from an attack by Cooler. Despite this, he and Vegeta continued their journey towards the center of the planet, also looking for opponents to take the Dragon Balls from them. They are currently flying over the Maritime region. Cabba is very embarrassed and apologizes to Vegeta for causing him trouble. He would like to be stronger, but even though he trains a lot, it seems like he's never strong enough. Vegeta says that defeats are part of the history of a warrior. He himself has unfortunately had many defeats, but the important thing is to not accept the situation and always improve, or at least strive to improve. A warrior's greatest defeat is not losing a fight. It's giving up on improving and settling down. After hearing these words from his master, Cabba is more motivated and thanks Vegeta. Suddenly they see a group of enemies approaching, and then a trio get in their way. The enemies are Ribrianne, Sankaku, and Su-Rose, the trio of warriors from Universe 2. Seeing them, Vegeta is very angry and disappointed. He says, "Oh, is that you? Those boring women who only talk about love all the time." They get very angry to hear the prince sneer at their love like that, and then they attack. Ribrianne charges towards Vegeta, while Sankaku and Su-Rose charge towards Cabba. Gohan, Piccolo, and Frost are flying over a forest region towards the center of the planet, when suddenly a shot of energy coming from the middle of the forest almost hit Gohan, who narrowly dodged it. At the same moment, Gohan and Piccolo recognize this attack. It is the Universe 2 sniper who was eliminated by Tenshin Han in the last tournament. Piccolo says that staying high makes them easy targets. They should come down. The trio descends from the sky into the forest. Gohan tries to sense the sniper's key, but he can't. Piccolo says it was already expected that he would hide his presence, but if we stay between the trees he won't have a clear view to shoot, and also the shots will hit the trees and they will be slower. Besides that, we will also be able to hear the sounds of the shot approaching and we will dodge more easily. If he wants to have a better chance of hitting us before he's noticed, he'll need to get closer, and then we'll have a better chance of catching him. But Frost disagrees with Piccolo's tactic and says, but if we stay among the trees, we won't accurately see his location. We'll also have limited vision. But Gohan agrees with Piccolo and refutes Frost. Gohan says, but he's a sniper. He'll definitely have a good hiding ability and better vision to hit us. The best we can do is really make it difficult for him to fire while we think of a way to find him. Piccolo adds on, that's exactly it, Gohan. The more he shoots, the more we'll get a sense of his location, and then we'll follow him. A shot comes, and just as Piccolo predicts, the energy came, destroying some branches and tree trunks, which made it easier to dodge them. After this happened, they separated and headed towards the shooting site. It didn't take long for them to see the sniper, Hamira. Gohan was the first to approach Hamira, but when he was about to attack the Green Warrior, he was surprised by Yadorat Jimizu, teleporting in front of him and knocking him away. Then Jimizu touched Hamira and used the teleport to get him out of there, surprising the three who didn't expect him to have a companion. Then another shot came from somewhere else. They dodged it and headed towards Hamira, but he was again teleported elsewhere, leaving the trio very frustrated. Frost, in a tone of irony to provoke Piccolo, asks, so, Mr. Strategist, what's plan B? BROLY, Kale, and Cauliflower were flying over a mountainous desert. They already had the required amount of Dragon Balls to pass the next stage, so they were heading towards the center of the planet. But they are surprised when suddenly an energy field is formed around them. Who created this barrier is Cocotte, a member of the Pride Troopers. After doing so, she yells, now General, this is your chance. General Casserole comes out of a rock where he was hiding and concentrating all his power, fires a great wave of energy at Cocotte's force field. Before the attack hits the barrier, Cocotte makes an opening and then the energy enters the dome and explodes inside it, creating a concentration super explosion. After this attack, Cocotte undoes the force field and goes to Casserole's side. She says, it was a very powerful attack, General. Did they not die? Casserole replies, well, I don't know about that, man, but we saw the absurd power of those two girls in the first tournament. Containing the attack against them is not a good idea, but that was probably enough to make it impossible for them to fight for the time being. But when the smoke from the attack clears, they are surprised to see that BROLY, with his body, protected Kale and Cauliflower with a hug. Universe 7 Saiyan took all the damage, which surprised even the two girls. Cauliflower, very angry, asks why BROLY defended them. They are not weak and could withstand that attack. But BROLY replies it was simply a natural instinct. Kale, very worried, offers to take care of the Saiyan, but he says it's not necessary. The attack didn't cause too many injuries. Seeing that, Casserole and Cocotte are shocked. That was the most powerful attack by one of the most powerful warriors in Universe 11, and all the power of the attack was contained in that energy dome, which increased the damage much more. But still the Saiyan received the attack without transforming and took almost no damage. Cauliflower, very angry, says that she will make them pay for attacking in that cowardly way. But BROLY says no, he will defeat these opponents. Cauliflower is a little disappointed that she can't fight, but she agrees after all. BROLY took the most damage from the attack, so he has the right to want to fight them. Casserole and Cocotte prepare for the fight. They are members of the Great Pride Troopers. They will not be afraid. Besides, Jiren will get there soon, and when he does, they'll all be defeated. Hearing Jiren's name, Kale and Cauliflower are scared, but BROLY doesn't care. He just wants to defeat those opponents who try to hurt his new friends, and so he flies towards the two opponents. In another region of the planet, Goku and Ganos exchange blows intensely. The Saiyan is already using Super Saiyan 3, and even then Ganos has the upper hand against him. Ganos' body is very muscular, and the Bird Warrior is surrounded by lightning, emanating a lot of power. In a moment, as they exchange blows, Ganos releases an electrical aura from his body that electrocutes Goku and knocks him away. After that, Ganos launches a powerful wave of energy from his hand. Goku counterattacks with the Kamehameha, but the Saiyan's energy is easily overcome by the energy of the Universe 7 warrior, and Goku needs to dodge to avoid being hit. But Ganos, already assuming that Goku would dodge, shoots from his mouth a wave of energy that hits the Saiyan and makes Goku fall from the sky into the forest. The protagonist destroys many trees during a very violent fall. Ganos creates in his hand a giant energy globe and launches it against the forest region. The destruction created by that energy is such that the forest is completely disappeared, turning the place into a lifeless land. Ganos smiles and assumes he defeated Goku with that attack, but the Saiyan appears before him with the instant transmission, indicating that he has escaped the last attack. Goku has a disapproving expression on his face. He says to Ganos, "Hey, take it easy. If any other not-so-strong participant had been in that region, they would have been killed by their attack." But Ganos says he doesn't care. All he wants to do is keep fighting and get more and more powerful. If he keeps increasing his power level, he will become the strongest warrior in all the universes. Hearing this answer, Goku gets more serious. Ganos was getting stronger and out of control. Master Roshi was right to be worried about him during the first tournament of power. The fighting spirit that increases his power also makes him more aggressive and ecstatic with power. It's time to end the fight before Ganos wreaks havoc on the planet. Goku closes his eyes, and when he opens his eyes, he's already transformed into a Super Saiyan God. Seeing Goku's new transformation, Ganos is confused. Before he felt a lot of energy coming from the Saiyan, but now he doesn't feel anything. Goku, with a serious and calm expression, tells Ganos that he's really amazing. A few minutes before, he was just a little above his level in base form, but now he's already surpassed his level in Super Saiyan 3. He was so excited about the fight that he even used Super Saiyan Phase 3, something that he logically shouldn't do. In other words, fighting Ganos has been a lot of fun for Goku, and if he knew how to fight by ensuring the safety of the other participants, they could continue this fight. But unfortunately, his ego increases along with his power level. Because of that, he must finish this fight before anyone gets hurt. Ganos gets very angry with those words. The way Goku speaks, it sounds like he's much superior. He doesn't like to listen to sermons. Ganos prepares another energy globe, this time much larger than the attack that destroyed the forest. After doing so, he launches at Goku, but the protagonist keeps his expression calm. And then with one hand, he holds the attack and launches it upwards off the planet. Ganos is absolutely shocked by that. How did he hold back such a powerful attack with one hand? Has Goku's power increased so much as a single transformation? But before the Birdman could assimilate the whole situation, Goku appears in front of him, and before Ganos could react, the Saiyan hits his forehead with a flick, launching him away. Ganos falls unconscious on the same ground he destroyed earlier. After defeating his opponent, Goku reverts to base form and wonders, why did he use that move? Is he inheriting Mr. Beerus's behavior without realizing it? Thinking about it gave the protagonist shivers. In the desert, BROLY faced off against General Casserole and Cocotte while Kale and Cauliflower watched. BROLY flies towards Casserole and Cocotte, but just as he was going to punch them, Cocotte defends them both by creating a force field around them. But as soon as BROLY hits the force field and his blow is stopped, Cocotte undoes energy and Casserole attacks the Saiyan right in front of them with a wave of energy. BROLY is thrown far away with that attack, but manages to recover in midair without hitting his body with anything. This has been going on since the fight started. BROLY tries to attack, but Cocotte defends them, and Casserole counters. He's not badly injured even after taking a lot of attacks from the Universe 11 warrior, but it's frustrating not being able to attack. Cauliflower yells for BROLY to increase his power or transform. If he does, he will surely and easily destroy Cocotte's barrier and defeat them both with a single attack. But BROLY doesn't want to do that. If he increases his powers anymore, he could lose control and hurt someone. Casserole takes advantage of BROLY's distraction by talking to Cauliflower and approaches the Saiyan by launching a ball of energy at him. That hits BROLY's face and temporarily blinds him. After that, Casserole creates an energy blade in one of his hands and attacks the opponent with a slash, cutting the Saiyan's chest. After being wounded by Casserole, BROLY walks away, then regains his sight. Casserole couldn't believe it. He hit the Saiyan directly with the energy blade, but all he got was a shallow cut. What is that man's skin made of? BROLY gets really mad, and he's tired of those tricks. The Saiyan flies towards Casserole very furious. Cocotte, even from a distance, creates a force field around the general, but BROLY now uses more strength, and just one punch from him is enough to crack Cocotte's defense, and the Saiyan's second punch blows a hole in the shield and reaches Casserole's neck. Looking into BROLY's eyes, Casserole sees he's out of his mind. Cocotte flies towards them to try to help Casserole, but BROLY throws the man at the woman. They both collide in the air and fall to the ground. After doing so, BROLY flies towards them to deliver the final attack. Casserole, scared, orders Cocotte to use the shield, but the woman says that at that speed BROLY is coming, the shield won't work. He'll break the shield and kill them both. The two warriors close their eyes. Their end has come. After that, a big impact wave can be seen in the desert. A very powerful attack hit something. But Casserole and Cocotte are still alive. What happened? When they open their eyes, they see in front of them Dispo, who has carried them somewhere else at such a high speed, and they didn't even realize they were moved. After that, they see Topo land in front of them. The Pride Trooper leader congratulates Dispo by the speed of the rescue and apologizes to Casserole and Cocotte for the delay. After that, the two look at where they were. Jiren was holding BROLY's hand. He was the one who stopped the Saiyan's blow. Seeing that Jiren has stopped his attack, BROLY is surprised and seems to regain consciousness. Jiren looks at the Saiyan, says that was a good blow. He's very strong. Universe 11's warrior lands an attack on BROLY, knocking him away. Kale and Cauliflower go to BROLY's side. Cauliflower says that this man called Jiren is very powerful. If they face him, they will be defeated and lose the orbs they got. They must back off for now. But BROLY doesn't want to. There's something about Jiren that he can't explain, but he feels an uncontrollable urge to fight him. Something inside BROLY says he must face that warrior that stands before him. Jiren says he sees in BROLY a great fighting spirit. The spirit that is inside him and the spirit that is inside BROLY are attracting each other. They need to face each other to know who is the most powerful. Jiren orders Topo and Dispo not to interfere in the fight, and advises Kale and Cauliflower to do the same. That is a battle that shouldn't be stopped. BROLY, not containing his spirit, launches himself into a fight towards Jiren, and the impact of his flight was so great that Kale and Cauliflower, who were next to him, fell to their seats. Jiren also flies towards the Saiyan, and then the two clash their fists, creating a gigantic impact wave that destroys even some nearby rocks. After that, several waves of impact can be seen all over the place. The two warriors move throughout their desert region, exchanging countless blows. Kale and Cauliflower, while seeing that, are absolutely amazed, as are the Pride Troopers. The impact of those two blows was so great that it made their entire body shake. It doesn't take long for the most powerful member of the Pride Trooper to gain the upper hand in the fight. Jiren lands many attacks on BROLY, punishing the Saiyan with very strong blows. Universe 11's warrior says that BROLY is powerful, but his technique is not refined, and he also doesn't have precise control of his own energy. Apparently, he hasn't fought many high-level fights. But he was different. He had spent his entire life fighting countless battles, and with much training and experience, he had refined his skills and control of his energy. But to Jiren's surprise, it doesn't take long for BROLY to adapt to his fighting style, managing to defend and dodge the Universe 11's warriors' attacks. BROLY says he's participated in some training with Goku and Vegeta, so yes, he fought high-level battles a few times. Jiren, upon hearing that, says, "I see. It sounds like you're the type of person who was born with a natural gift for fighting. You haven't fought many times, but you seem to have a great ability to adapt to your opponent and learn as you fight. The ability combined with the training you've had with those two makes you able to even maintain a battle with someone like me. You are a very impressive warrior, but that's not all my power. And I know it's not all your power either. The time has come to show me the limit of your strength." Jiren starts using more power in the fight, and now his punches have a lot more impact and make BROLY retreat. The Universe 11 warrior's speed has also increased, and BROLY is again hit by many attacks. As he hits BROLY, Jiren says that he knows he has a lot more power to show. He must do it now or he will be defeated. But BROLY doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to lose control. But Jiren keeps leveling up. He hits BROLY more and more. The Pride Trooper man blows get heavier and cause more pain to the Saiyan, who suffers a lot with every damage received. While watching that, Kale and Cauliflower are very angry. They think about helping, but Dispo and Topo go in front of them. They won't let them interrupt Jiren's fight. Topo says they're not just doing this for Jiren's sake, but for their safety as well. When Jiren is struggling with his spirit burning like that, it's not good for weaker people to get in his way. At one point, Jiren lands a blow that sends BROLY away, and then while yelling at BROLY to unleash his true power, Jiren launches a powerful energy attack at the Saiyan. BROLY, without time to dodge the attack, holds it with his hands, but that energy is too powerful. He won't be able to hold it. Jiren says that he must release more power now, or else he will be swallowed up by that energy. BROLY, with no option, starts to unleash a large amount of power. His hair grows in height, and his eyes turn yellow. and as the Saiyan's hands held Jiren's energy, he fired a great wave of power from his mouth, and the attack was so powerful that it immediately made Jiren's energy return to himself. But the Universe 11 warrior redirected his energy and BROLY upwards. Seeing BROLY's new form, he's happy. The Saiyan has finally increased his power. But he knows that BROLY is still not using his full potential. BROLY is not out of control, but he feels a great rage trying to take over his heart. That's dangerous. He should go back to base form. But Jiren doesn't let him do that and attacks him. BROLY has no choice. He reacts to the opponent's attacks while using that power. Jiren, while exchanging blows with the Universe 7 warrior, reveals in his thoughts to feel a heat in his fists. He only felt it once in his fight against Son Goku in the Tournament of Power. BROLY starts leveling up even more and makes Jiren back off. Kale, Cauliflower, Topo, and Dispo watched that fight in complete amazement. They couldn't believe that BROLY was so incredibly powerful. But Jiren also increased his power, and again they trade blows at the same level. Many lightning strikes begin to fall from the sky, and the impact waves from their blows create whirlpools and tornadoes across the region. Little by little, the climate of the entire planet was changing. Vegeta and Cabba fight the trio of warriors from Universe 2. Vegeta fights Ribrianne in Super Saiyan, while Cabba fights Sankaku and Su Rose in Super Saiyan 2. He has a lot of difficulty in the fight since he was injured. He is hit by many attacks from the women who fight very well in pairs. Vegeta lands a blow on Ribrianne that knocks her away and then tells Cabba that he must react. Fighting like that, he's putting the warrior race to shame. Ribrianne returns towards Vegeta with her body curled up like a steamroller. The Saiyan dodges. She passes by him but then turns around and goes towards him again in high speed. While fending off the women's attack with his hands, Vegeta says that he doesn't have time to help Cabba. He must find the Saiyan spirit inside him to win this battle. As he is cornered by the two women, Cabba asks Vegeta what he means by that. What is the Saiyan spirit? And the prince explains, this is the spirit that every Saiyan warrior should have. The thirst for battle and more power, and the ability to overcome one's limitations in battle, to become more and more powerful. Each blow received and each wound is a learning experience, a fuel to become stronger and stronger. After hearing his master's words, Cabba is extremely motivated. Vegeta is right. A Saiyan warrior must learn from hardship. He must use this moment of despair to overcome his limits and become even more powerful. Filled with determination, Cabba breaks out of his defensive posture and starts the offensive against the two women, who are impressed by his sudden change in behavior. The Saiyan presses the two, making them retreat, and lands a few blows on them. Women are very angry. The raw power of a Saiyan cannot overcome the power of love. Love is above all. They stand side by side and fire an attack with all their power at Cabba. The Saiyan also concentrates all his power and launches an attack in response. The two energy waves clash, but Cabba is losing. Overwhelmed by the desire for victory and power, Cabba screams as his power grows more and more, and then his energy completely overwhelms the energy of the warriors from Universe 2, and they are swept away. Ribrianne, seeing her friends losing, is furious. How could love have been defeated? But Vegeta replies, if she really knew what love is, she would have become more powerful to protect what she loves so much. After saying that, the Prince of Saiyan lands a powerful punch on Ribrianne. A punch so strong that the whole sea below them splits open. And then, after receiving this attack, the warrior from Universe 2 is also thrown away. After seeing that they won, Cabba smiles, and then he goes back to base form and passes out. The young Saiyan falls towards the sea, but before he reaches the water, Vegeta catches him by the arm. With a proud smile on his face, the Prince of Saiyan tells his unconscious disciple that he did a good job. But Vegeta realizes something. The climate in the region is changing. The sea is getting rough, and lots of lightning dominates the skies. He feels an incredible power taking over the planet. No, two powers, BROLY and Jiren. Worried, Vegeta wonders where this is going to end. The combat between the two super powerful warriors continues. While fighting against Jiren, the Saiyan releases a large amount of power. His expression is one of fear and despair. While fighting, he tries to control his own power, but his energy simply escapes his body without permission. Seeing what is happening to his opponent, Jiren tells him that while he fears his own power, he will never be able to control it. He must accept his own power. But for BROLY, those words have no meaning. He doesn't know what the most experienced warrior means. He just feels scared. Jiren lands attacks on BROLY. He says that the Saiyan's preoccupation with his own power makes him lose attention in the fight. If BROLY keeps fighting like this, he will be defeated. BROLY is even more scared and less able to defend, dodge, and counterattack. With that, Jiren gains more and more advantage in battle and punishes the Universe 7 warrior with heavy blows. BROLY suffers from every blow, his bones crack and his muscles seem to crumble on impact. Jiren says that he knows BROLY can be better. He feels that who stands before him is the warrior who, like Son Goku, can push him to the limit and make him become wiser and more powerful. But for that, BROLY must use his full potential. The Universe 7 Saiyan, tired of receiving so many blows and suffering so much pain, screams so loud that it makes the whole region shake, and he starts releasing a gigantic aura of energy that makes even Jiren back away. Now BROLY has transformed into Super Saiyan, and the pupils of his eyes have disappeared. Seeing the opponent's face, Jiren realizes that he is no longer in control. From that moment on, he will need to be very careful. Not only with himself, but with everything around him. BROLY advances towards Jiren, who is unafraid, and also towards the maddened enemy. The two clash fists, and then something strange happens. They are no longer in the desert, but on a mountain. Toppo, Dispo, Kale, and Cauliflower wonder where they went. They shocked their fists on one moment, and the next they weren't there anymore. Toppo, wondering what happened, says that probably the power of their attacks caused a space-time distortion. They must have gone to another region of the planet. He can still feel their energy. BROLY and Jiren exchanged extremely powerful blows, and now the Saiyan attacked the warrior of pride without any hesitation. Jiren lands an attack on the Saiyan, but he simply ignores the damage, and without retreating an inch, counters Jiren with an even stronger blow, destabilizing the ball man's guard, who receives a string of attacks afterwards. Jiren immediately raises his ki, and again the fight is in balance. He praises the Saiyan, saying, "That's right, finally you are fighting without hesitation. You have finally accepted your own power. See how that makes you so much stronger? But something is still missing." Jiren begins to dodge and defend BROLY's attacks, and counterattacks the Saiyan many times. BROLY has a hard time attacking or defending his opponent, which makes him very frustrated and even angrier. While striking the Saiyan, Jiren explains, "In addition to accepting his power, a warrior also needs to own his power. Your power is great and your gentle heart makes you afraid to use it, so you deny your own strength. But when you need more power, you end up being overpowered by it, because your mind unconsciously rejects it. And as long as your mind rejects power, both cannot work together. You need to accept your power." BROLY can't understand Jiren's words. He gets even more frustrated and furious at not being able to hit the opponent, and then starts unleashing even more power. Seeing this, Jiren realizes that this process is not going to be easy. While all this was happening in another region of the planet, Piccolo, Gohan, and Frost were in a bad situation while facing Jimizu and Hamira. The sniper Hamira would hide in the trees in the forest and shoot at them, but finding him was not the main problem. It was the fact that every time they got close to attack the sniper, the Yadrat Jimizu teleported him to another place. That way it was almost impossible to catch them, which made the fight an eternal game of cat and mouse. At one point, Hamira shoots at Piccolo, who dodges the shot. Gohan, coming from the other direction, fires an energy attack at the Green Warrior, and Frost, coming from the other direction, also fires an energy attack at him. But Jimizu immediately reaches him with the instant transmission and takes him away, letting Gohan and Frost's attack hit each other and create a huge explosion at that location. Piccolo, very angry, crosses his arms and started to build up energy, and then he yells at Gohan and Frost to get away. After that, he opened his arms, releasing all the accumulated energy, and then a great wave of energy devastated all the forest, destroying all the trees and making that place just an empty land. Gohan asks Piccolo why he does that. Wasn't the plan to use the trees in the forest to hinder the sniper? Standing in an open field would make them more vulnerable to an attack. Piccolo says that the situation has changed. It's impossible for them to catch up to Hamira and Jimizu like that. Hamira and Jimizu appear in the sky. Clearly, Jimizu has teleported to escape along with Hamira from Piccolo's latest attack. They smile, and Hamira says that now they were on open ground, it would be much easier for him to hit them. And on the other hand, it wouldn't be any harder for him and Jimizu to keep evading enemy attacks. This means that Piccolo's decision only made the situation worse for them. Piccolo responds to this provocation by shooting a ki ball at Hamira, who deflects it, And then the Namekian smiles and says that the way it was before, they couldn't counter Hamira's shots from a distance as he was hiding among the trees. But now they have an open view. That's possible. That is, if they cannot defeat the sniper by approaching him, then they would do so from a distance. Frost smiles. He liked that idea. A shooting contest wasn't too bad. It could be fun. Gohan, Frost, and Piccolo all fire energy attacks at Hamira at the same time. The sniper warrior dodges the attacks with an annoying expression. Hamira tells them, "Who do you think I am? I'm a professional, attacking with shots and firing from a distance in my specialty. Do you dare think that you can win just because there are three? I'll show you who you're dealing with." Hamira shoots at the three Team 4 warriors who dodge and fire back. This battle is now a firefight. Suddenly, the climate of the region changed. A big storm started. Gohan gets very worried and tells Piccolo that it was BROLY's ki. It was too high and out of control. Piccolo says that Gohan should focus on that fight. They can think about what to do with BROLY later. BROLY and Jiren were now fighting in a frozen region of the planet. The impacts of the two warriors' blows destroys the glacier around them. The legendary Super Saiyan fought madly, while the Universe 11 warrior remained calm. Even though the two were using the same level of power at the moment, Jiren landed blows on BROLY while the Saiyan couldn't hit him. He explains to BROLY that fighting that way, he can subdue warriors who are weaker than him. But if he fights someone of the same level, he will have many weaknesses compared to the opponent, as this uncontrolled fighting style leaves him with many breaches for attacks. BROLY, angry at receiving so many attacks, begins to emanate even more energy, and several balls of energy begin to be fired by the Saiyan's ki aura and hit all over that place. Jiren defends himself from these attacks by creating a force field around him. Hit had just defeated Universe Force warriors Daemon, Shansa, and Gamisaras. They weren't very strong warriors, but because they were almost unattainable, they were hard to see. It was a boring fight. Derkori, who had been defeated by a hit before the three companions arrived, scolds the three unseen warriors. How could the three have been defeated? They are so idiots! Suddenly a shower of ki balls fall from the sky, and both Hit and Derkori need to dodge to avoid being hit. Hit, sensing BROLY's ki, notices that he is increasingly out of control, and wonders how far Jiren intends to take this fight. Derkori, feeling the energy of that uncontrolled and very powerful warrior, smiles. She seems to have a plan. The woman tells Hit that she already knows a way to defeat him and his entire team. Their defeat is already assured. After saying that, Derkori disappears, and Hit is a little worried by that insinuation. How will she defeat the entire Team 4, which is made up of such powerful warriors? He must watch out. BROLY creates a gigantic globe of energy and launches it towards Jiren, who, seeing the attack would hit the planet and could cause destruction that could spread over a large territory, decides to hold the attack instead of dodging. Jiren needed to use more power to not be carried away by BROLY's energy, and so the Universe 11 warrior once again raised his power and launched the attack skyward. But BROLY was already very close to him, and lands a string of blows on the Pride Troop warrior. He finishes the string of attacks by shooting a wave of energy through his mouth that completely engulfs Jiren's body. Jiren is carried from the frozen region of the planet into a vast desert, where he finally crashes into the ground. He was really hurt by that attack. When he gets up, Jiren sees that BROLY is already there, the legendary Super Saiyan watching him from the sky with an expression of pure fury and madness. Jiren smiles. BROLY is really incredibly strong, but that fight shouldn't go on, or else the situation could become unmanageable. Jiren starts to increase his power even more, releasing an unbelievable amount of ki, and as the Universe 11 warrior does so, he says that in the next move this combat will end. But BROLY, sensing Jiren's power increase, also increases his own power. And even though the Saiyan doesn't use words to express his thoughts, Jiren realizes that he too plans to end the fight in his next attack. The time to know who is the most powerful has arrived. As BROLY and Jiren raise their powers for a final blow, Frieza and Cooler watch from a distance. Cooler, a little annoyed, complains, "Damn, following these two around this huge planet is so boring." But Frieza, with an evil smile on his face, justifies, "Be patient, my brother. The moment is coming. BROLY and Jiren are true monsters. A direct fight against them is something very dangerous. But if we can surprise them in a moment of weakness, we can finish them off. They will end this fight. After their next shock, someone will be the loser, and it will be that person that we will eliminate. Or if we are lucky, both of them could end this fight very wounded, and we'll kill them both." After saying that, Frieza makes his evil laugh. His eyes are bloodthirsty. Goku arrives with the instant transmission in that desert. He arrives in a place a little far from the two warriors. Without a worried expression, the protagonist observes both of them emanating an absurd amount of energy. He realizes that if they attack with that amount of power, someone could get out of this fight dead. He has to do something. BROLY and Jiren are ready. It's time for the final attack. Who will be the mightiest warrior? Universe 7's legendary Super Saiyan or Universe 11's strongest warrior? Will Frieza and Cooler be able to carry out their evil and cowardly plan? Will Goku be able to stop a tragedy from happening? Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Super 2, the new Tournament of Power.